Hi, just a quick update on the markets today through the lens of liquidity. It's end of day, 10th of June. I'm just looking back here, April bottom. I've got three groups here of indicators, two groups of three indicators here. They're all liquidity based. The top one is the SPIX, the main index, and the bottom one are the MAG 7. Collation of their liquidity. And here we can see there's lots of similarities, but we can see that the first thing we note is that there was quite a big drive coming out of the bottom of the April low. Very typical to come out with index and index options from a bottom where you have quite a lot of volatility and you're trying to decide which is the market that you're or the industry or the specific stocks that you're going to use, and you tend to then use those stocks when we have high gamma, and then we get dispersion within the index. But in a high vol situation, we tend to use index. So we've had a high index uptake here, and as opposed to if we come down and we have a look, although we did have quite a lot of buying, I suppose we can say that yes, that was driven through to quite strong MAG 7. Since then, MAG 7 has really been going sideways as far as the vol, and it has been bouncing around. And we've just recently started to have a fill again in the MAG 7. If I look in a little bit closer at what's been happening, again, the last 2 days, we've had a little bit of drift upwards. We've had the start of charm, which is the buying back of the theta component of index options, and that gives us this drive towards the end of the month. We can see a couple of buy sessions in here. It's loosened up a little bit into the end of the day, but you can still see we're below. We're in the buying section. We're not in one of these sort of starting to become defensive sections. And again, we can see quite good buying here in the MAG 7. If we just have a quick look down where the NDX got to, again, the NDX has had a few sections of buying. It's had a little bit of an off section, and then it started up. It's very similar, but not quite as strong as the particular 7 components of the NASDAQ group. The time series, if we looked out at the 2 hours, probably show us a similar thing as people have bought the index. Here we can see they're buying the index rather than buying the individual stocks, and then that's backed off as we've got high gamma and the traders changed into individual stocks that will outperform with dispersion in a high gamma market. They just tend to move around. They're traded by the traders within the high gamma market. They're traded and they're looking for reasons and following ideas of what's changing, and also just following the volatility and where other option traders and traders are moving. If we just quickly have a look at the IWM's a lot stronger at the moment. We can see it's gone through a real buying. It wasn't so strong at the start. We still had quite high rates. They hadn't really started to move, and then it's had two builds, and the current build is still on the way. So the IWM, although it hasn't taken off, there's a lot of action within the IWM at the moment. So IWM individual stocks are the things that are being watched. If we just have a look at Bitcoin, where's Bitcoin in the current market? Bitcoin's had a really good build. Yes, had a dip in the center. That's just part of the nature of mean reversion with Bitcoin. And again, it's had a really good build. It's coming up to a topping. So both the indexes, if we had to look at them again, and the Bitcoin are coming up to a topping level where they will probably sit for a little while as we come in towards the end of the month, and that should give us some dispersion within the crypto market. I'm pretty certain that it works in a similar way, that when we get stalled periods in the crypto market in a high volume vol situation, a high gamma situation, that we then get dispersion amongst the players that haven't yet chased price. As long as we see those rates and IWM rates start to go down and the IWM continues to rise. Anyway, that's a reasonably short update, but I apologise if it went a little bit long. Have a good 11th of June trading, and trade towards the end of the week.